by helping to provide respite care, day programming, job training, and various camps and community activities throughout the year. The ARC also employs over 80 St. Charles Parish residents through its programs. The millage renewal will generate approximately $1.4 million in 2024 for the ARC to continue to provide services to their clients. Some of the programs the ARC of St. Charles operates include the Cajun Village Thrift Store, Throw Me Something Mister Carnival Bead Recycling, Cutting Edge Lawn.
I'll check on it tomorrow too.
Fundraising bracket you got.
Yeah. Very gratifying. Very.
Good evening and welcome to St. Charles Parish Council meeting on Monday, October 9th, 2023 at 6 p.m. in the council chambers at the Parish Courthouse. Please silence all electronic devices and remove all hats. Due to Reverend Michelle Harris not being able to attend tonight, this meeting will be called to order with a prayer and a pledge of allegiance from Pastor Thomas Hines of Hope Church in Destrehan.
Thank you. Good evening. Let's pray. Father, we love you. We thank you for this day. We thank you, Lord, for another opportunity to come together and do the work that you have chosen us to do. Lord, I pray your continued blessing and direction, Lord, that you would help us, give us wisdom, Lord, to continue leading our parish forward. Lord, I pray for upcoming election, Lord, that the right people would be chosen, Lord, to continue doing this work. Lord, we just ask you to help us. Lord, you've blessed us, you've protected us. Lord, you've given us a good year, and we thank you for that, and we just pray that it would continue. Lord, we ask you to bless this meeting and bless the work that is being done. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Join me in the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Hines.
Thank you.
Approval of minutes. A motion and a second is needed to approve the minutes of the regular meeting September 25th, 2023. A motion by Bob Fisher and a second by Sandra Gordon. Please cast your votes. And that passes unanimously. Special business, proclamations, canvas returns, etc. Item number 2023-0266, in recognition, Tabitha Detillier, 2023 Miss Alligator Festival Queen. Miss Fonseca.
No, opposite.
No, sorry. Miss Cluley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Parish of St. Charles, October 9, 2023, in recognition, whereas Tabitha Ann Detillier is a resident of St. James Parish, residing in Gramercy, Louisiana. She is the daughter of David Detillier and Rachel Lear, and has one sister, Jordan Lear. And whereas on Sunday, September 10, 2023, Tabitha was crowned 2023 Miss Alligator Festival Queen at the Alligator Festival pageant held at Hahnville High School in Booteen. And whereas Tabitha will represent St. Charles Parish, the Alligator Festival, and the Rotary Club of St. Charles Parish at several fairs and festivals throughout Louisiana. Now therefore be resolved, we the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President do hereby offer this tribute and recognition to Tabitha Ann Detillier, 2023 Miss Alligator Festival Queen. And I would just like to say, to thank all the ladies that competed for the two positions. This is not the end of their competitions. This is just the beginning of a year filled with traveling the state, visiting the different festivals and fairs, and representing St. Charles Parish and the Rotary Alligator Festival across the state, and potentially compete at the state as State Festival Queen, and thank you for representing St. Charles Parish. So, please come up.
I would just like to thank St. Charles Parish for all that they do for the festival. We had a very successful festival weekend. We had a great turnout. Everyone was happy. We had lots of smiling faces despite the weather on the last day. As far as my travels for the future, I plan to attend Louisiana Association Affairs and Festival and compete for the Laugh Queen. And as far as local travels, I plan to go hand in hand with the Rotary Club and work with them throughout the year, as well as I already started traveling around the state. I've been to I went to a ball this past weekend at the Spanish Festival, so I'm doing all those activities, and I can plan to just travel and spread the word about the Alligator Festival. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Batillier. Item number 2023-0267, in recognition, Stephanie Jo Newman, 2023 Teen Alligator Queen Festival. Ms. Fonseca.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In recognition, whereas Stephanie Jo Newman is a resident of Livingston Parish, residing in Springfield, Louisiana. She is the daughter of Stephen and Josie Newman. And whereas on Sunday, September 10th, 2023, Stephanie was crowned 2023 Teen Alligator Festival Queen at the Alligator Festival pageant held at Hornville High School in Booty. And whereas Stephanie will represent St. Charles Parish, the Alligator Festival, and the Rotary Club of St. Charles Parish at several fairs and festivals throughout Louisiana. Now, therefore, be it resolved, we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President, do hereby offer this tribute and recognition to Stephanie Jo Newman, 2023 Teen Alligator Festival Queen. And Stephanie's here to accept.
I just want to say I am very honored to hold this position to represent the Alligator Festival and what the Rotary Club has to offer. It holds a very special place in my heart to be a part of an organization that is all about service, and it just is very special to me, and I'm very glad and thankful for this position.
Thank you, Ms. Newman. Item number 2023-0272, a resolution indicating the intention of St. Charles Parish, State of Louisiana, to approve. Oh, we have another one? I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. 2023-0268, proclamation, National Night Out in St. Charles Parish. Mr. Jewell.
Chairwoman, proclamation. Whereas the National Association of Town Watch, the NATW, sponsors annually a unique nationwide crime, drug, and violence prevention program entitled Night Out, National Night Out. And whereas National Night Out is an annual community building campaign that promotes strong police community partnerships and neighborhood camaraderie to make our neighborhoods safer, more caring places to live. And whereas National Night Out provides a unique opportunity for St. Charles Parish to join forces with thousands of other communities across the country in promoting cooperative police community crime and drug prevention efforts. And whereas National Night Out is a year-long community building campaign designed to heighten crime and drug prevention awareness, generate support and participation in local anti-crime programs, strengthen neighborhood spirit and police community partnerships, and send a message to criminals informing them that neighborhoods are organized and are fighting back. And whereas it is essential that all citizens of St. Charles Parish be aware of the importance of crime prevention programs and the impact that their participation can have on reducing crime, drugs, and violence in St. Charles Parish. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council, and the Parish President do hereby call upon all citizens of St. Charles Parish to join the Sheriff's Office in supporting National Night Out on October 17, 2023. Be it further resolved that we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council, and the Parish President do hereby proclaim Tuesday, October 17, 2023, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. as National Night Out in St. Charles Parish. Here to accept, I think we have Captain Derek Pertwee, is that right? Michelle Joseph, Jessica Cortez. Would y'all like to come up?
Thank you, Mr. Jew and Parish Council. Just want to say thank you again for all the support. We enjoy a relatively low crime rate in St. Charles Parish. I say extremely low rate, and that's because of the support we get from the Parish Council, Parish government, and most of all from our citizens. So once again, we invite everyone to join us in this National Night Out on the 17th, as Mr. Jew said. If anyone's having any parties or anything like that, they can contact Ms. Jessica Cortez. The Sheriff's Office will be out visiting these parties, and we look forward to seeing everyone. Thank you.
Okay, item number 2023-0272, a resolution indicating the intention of the St. Charles Parish, State of Louisiana, to approve the 2-year appointment of Parish President Matthew Jewell as the Director to the Board of Louisiana Local Government Environmental Facilities and Community Development Authority, or the Authority, as provided by Chapter 10D of Title 33 of the Louisiana Revised Statutes of 1950 as amended. Mr. Dewsome.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Jason Akers wasn't able to be here, so I figured I could take this for him. If you recall, last year we issued our GOMESA bonds, and due to the unique nature of the GOMESA bonds, we had to issue them through the LCDA. And because of that, one of the requirements is for us to have a board member on their board serve a 2-year term, which is Parish President Jewell. So this is just reapproving his next 2-year term on that board.
All right. File number 2023-0272 is now open for public comment. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Seeing none, is there any council discussion? Oh, sorry, public comment is closed. Is there any council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2023-0272. And that passes unanimously. Reports, finance, and administrative activities. Item number 2023-0269, River Parishes Tourist Commission. Ms. Denise Burrell.
Keep my time in front of me. Hi, everyone. As Ms. Billings shared, I'm Denise Burrell, the new Executive Director of the River Parishes Tourist Commission. I think this is my button right here. Where am I pointing? Oh, there we go. Hey, yes. So I'm here to share with you all just what's been going on with the River Parishes Tourist Commission and a few updates. Recently, I was voted as the Executive Director of the Tourist Commission at the leave of Jay Robichaux. And then also we lost another another staff member as well, so that brought us from 5 to 2. And I'll share that in the next one. Our commission to date is from St. Charles Parish, Tracy Smith, Ricardo Smith, Noble Benoit. From St. John the Baptist Parish, Elizabeth Joseph. She's also our chairwoman, a part of our executive committee. Robert Taylor. Our seat is vacant. Our third seat for St. John the Baptist Parish was recently vacant as the council appointed a new representative to sit on their economic development board. In St. James Parish, we have Terrence Jones. That asterisk went on the next line, but he is our vice chairman, and he's also part of our executive committee. Camilla Landry, she's also in St. James Parish. She's our treasurer secretary. And Stephen Bourgeois, which is also the mayor of Gramercy. He's on our board as well, and that completes our board. Our team, we're down to 3, as I shared previously. Wilma Harvey, she's our Director of Sales and Business Development, and Andre Watkins is our Senior Marketing Management. I previously was the Director of Operations, so there is a few seats to fill in our office, and that will be to come, and I'll share that as well as they get filled. Just to share, I know you guys, some of you are aware, or some, for those who are not, we do have 5 brands and then 2 kind of sub of the 5. New Orleans Plantation Country, Bonfire Country, Undewey Trail, 1811 Slave Revolt, New Orleans Swamp Country, our river regions, Taste of the River, Parishes, and then Creations, which is our art trail. All right, so with that, we all promote tourism. So just, did you know, two little fun facts is that tourism is the 4th largest industry in the global economy. Tourism is also Louisiana's 4th largest employer with over 250,000 people, which a lot of people are not aware of it because you kind of, when you think of tourism, you think only travel, you think of only, service at restaurants, but the employment field, just our job opportunities in tourism is way more extensive, and not just at entry level, but at management level and corporate level. So there's different levels of tourism employment that I plan to really expand and really educate the students that are coming. So we have partnered with go back. Okay, yeah, so we'll be partnering with the local schools to really inform the students on just the wide span of job opportunities there is out there. As it relates to our river parishes, tourism employs more than 2,120 local citizens. Visitors spend more than $163 million annually. Tourism pumps more than $16.6 million of tax dollars in our economy. And if it were not for the state and local taxes paid by tourists visiting the river parishes, each household would pay $1,309 more in taxes. That's just a tidbit. So just with, as I come on board, my biggest thing is partnerships. We can't do it alone. Tourism is so wide, so broad, and so we need partners. So definitely my plight is, for my platform, is really partnerships with in local government, in education, in industries, and businesses, and small businesses. So definitely Workforce Commission, restaurants, attractions, which are our partners at this current, but really tapping in and really getting more engaged with that. Oh, hey, jumped ahead. Hey, so with that, Sheriff's Office, DA, and in that, you may think like, what all, as far as partnerships, but there's different groups and trainings and workshops and people that come in daily. And even with the parish, they come in daily from out of town. And that's where we want to tap in as well on the tourism side to really partner with, to introduce them and welcome them to our destination and share with them our destination. With that partnership, there's also another side of tourism, which is sports tourism, which we've recently tapped into. Throughout COVID, that was what sports tourism is what sustained the tourism industry. Because during COVID, we weren't encouraged to kind of gather in, but we were encouraged to go outside and do outdoor recreational things. And so sports tourism really sustained the tourism industry during COVID. So we really tapped into COVID. We are partnering with the Louisiana Office of Tourism This is our team, Team Louisiana, and these are CVB partners throughout the whole state of Louisiana. And we go out to these different conferences and trade shows to, hey, show them what we have, whether it be all the sports that we have, the parks, the golf courses, anything that's sports related, we share with them, and we meet with these tournament and event planners and these event holders to say, hey, this is what we have to offer. Come on down, you know. So we've shared that, and we've through that we recently secured the King Cat tournament, which was a great success, great partnership with St. Charles Parish. I think that might be my next slide as I'm trying to go faster. I know I'm at 10 minutes. Let's just share this tidbit. Why sporting events are valuable. Sports-related travel generates 90 million room nights and $32 billion in direct spending every year. Sports is one of the strongest segments in the entire travel industry. Sports event organizers value long-term destination and hotel relationships. Sports-related meetings and conventions generate nearly 25 million room nights annually. Sporting events are highly visible. Their impact is more easily measured. They enhance the quality of life for residents of the host city and can be key to economic development as well as an individual and business relocation. So in that, it's just so much, it helps the hotel industries as a whole. And also from that, King Cat tournament was a huge success. We have a small video I kind of added in there. This was the anglers. This is they're out of Ohio. This was their first time coming to Louisiana. They were excited. This was the biggest catfish they've ever caught. The name Desalmans that we are the catfish capital of the universe. So great partnership with St. Charles Parish. And this is like a little video. St. Charles Parish does have a video if you guys go on the website, and then also King Cat USA on Facebook. But this is just like a 1-minute video for those who just to see. There we go. Hey. There's 8 states, 7 boats, 17 anglers. They are coming back. This is our captain's meeting where we all just shared. This is live, so every weigh-in, it was day 1 and day 2 weigh-in. It was live, recorded. People were viewing in. This is like how large. People were viewing in saying, oh man, I'm at the wrong tournament. Oh man, I'll be out there next year. Oh, and then even the ones that are just they were kind of, posting and everything. And then even, they were huge. And then we also had the King Cat Rodeo for the kids at Bonnie Carey Spillway. Yeah, they were catching them with their hands, I think. So yeah, and then also they gave away almost $900 in prizes for the kids. Yeah, that's gonna go off. And 900 prizes for the kids. That included a Bible, hat, tackle box, rod, reel, candy, and crayons. So they were very excited. The anglers also shared how they are ready. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, they're ready for next year, and they're going to be coming back to the waters until next year. So they want to sign another agreement, and they want to visit our waters until that next tournament. Also, our other events, we have other events going on throughout for the remainder of the year. I'm looking at my time. These are some events: the Andouille Festival, the Pumpkin Patch in St. James, Rockin' on the River, which is at the LaFawn Center. The Armadillo Dash is at the Bonnie Carey Spillway. So this is just certain events, several events that are taking place in the river parishes. All of those are available on our events page, www.lariverparishes.com. They are updated. If there's anything that you guys haven't seen on the page and need to add, just let me know. And let's see, continue partnerships. And yeah, so this is what's to come. Continuing our marketing parlor quarterly meetings. We're going to do partner spotlights, continued sporting tournaments and events throughout the river parishes. As I shared, we'll be partnering with education, like the local schools for college and career fair, which is upcoming. Is an upcoming event that's taking place with Junior Achievement. Also, we're tapping into the HRT programs in the schools. Working with workshops to help with the HR side of hoteliers with the Louisiana Workforce Commission's increase in adding more cultural fairs and festivals to our river parishes. And we're going to do something new for the bonfire country season, and that is to come. And I think I've shared bit of everything.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any council discussion? Ms. Fisher? Cormier?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for the presentation, Denise, and congratulations on the new role. Glad to see you in this seat. You've done such a great job for years before, so really glad to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Do you have a quick question? You mentioned if there's something that we don't see in the way of fairs and festivals on the website. Is there a policy for promoting local fairs and festivals that maybe aren't parish festivals necessarily? Like, is there a policy?
Is there a policy just to promote?
Yeah, can you share a festival that's local on the webpage?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right,
Yes,
so we can
definitely.
just let you know if we see something out there that's not cross-posted with you guys.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Dewson.
Oh, wait.
I'm sorry, not Ms. Burrell. Item number 2023-0270, Department of Economic Development and Tourism. Mr. Fauché.
Good evening, everyone. There we go. Thank you. I'm going to spend a few minutes tonight to go over I can give you an overview of the department and then take a look at some numbers. There we go. Joining me in the department are Ms. Christy Dupree and Ms. Karen Robichaud. Christy and Karen are outstanding partners and team members, and I just can't thank them enough for all the great work that they do. Just simply put, our mission is to improve our economic well-being and quality of life. Everything that we do is framed around that mission. This is a copy of a flyer which I'm sure some of you have seen already. This gives you a quick summary of the services and strategies that we use to help achieve our goals. We want to work with businesses and help attract new business to the parish. We want to work with our residents to help them create or start their own businesses. We want to keep the businesses that we have here and help them grow and expand. And we support anything and everything that helps improve the business climate in the parish. Again, some of you know this already. This is our site selection tool. It is an online database of all the available properties in the parish, both buildings and land that is for sale or for lease that we are aware of. There are some that kind of slip through the cracks, but these are all the properties that we are aware of that are for sale or for lease in the parish. That's all online at our website. Users can also go on that site and access some market research. As Denise said, we do have many partners to help us. These are some of the most often used partners that we use to help achieve our goals. So right now in St. Charles Parish, we are in unprecedented times. What you see on the slide here are projects that are either under construction or soon will be under construction. They account for about $7.6 billion worth of spend over the next 3 years. These projects are going to account for or create over 500 permanent full-time jobs in the parish. So it's incumbent upon us, and I need everyone's help to ensure that all of our residents and small businesses take advantage of all of this growth. Taking a look at some numbers, this is just a sample of some numbers that we track to kind of keep an eye on the health of the economy. That table on the left shows how we outpunch our weight in terms of the size of the economy. We have the ninth largest economy in the state in terms of where we rank amongst the parishes. The slides on the right shows you how lucrative of an earnings environment that we have here in the parish. Right now, the average wage per job paid in the parish is just over $100,000 a year, which ranks second in the state. This leads to the third-ranked household income in the state of just over $72,000. Taxable sales remain strong. Last year, as everyone knows, and as Grant has told everyone, we have record sales in the parish last year, which actually beat the record the previous two years that were set. And for this year, we expect those numbers to be at or near those same levels. The unemployment rate is also at an all-time low. Right now, the average rate in the parish is at 3.1%. This beats last year's all-time low. If you take a look at the numbers for August, which is the last month that we have, the August rate in St. Charles Parish is 2.9%. This map, which I know is kind of hard to read, but it shows how we compare to the rest of the state. We are not only one of the lowest in South Louisiana, but amongst the lowest in the state. Now, the reason why we're so low, quite frankly, is that we have lost people being counted in the workforce. Now, why is that? We're trying to get our arms around why. Have folks just quit looking for jobs, or have we lost folks since Hurricane Ida that haven't come back yet? And the reason why I say that top line, that dark colored line there, is the total number of local residents being counted in the workforce. And as you can see, that red kind of hazy bar graph there is, or that line there is the quote unquote COVID era. And as you can see, we haven't met the numbers that we recorded pre-COVID. Now, we have counted about just under 780 folks as being unemployed. So where are they unemployed, or who is unemployed? Well, if you look at that bar graph on the left, about 21% of those folks that are being counted as unemployed come from the construction sector. If we take a deeper dive into those being counted as unemployed, most of those come from the construction and extraction job class. That job class does include most of the jobs that are under the residential construction area, which kind of makes sense once you look at where the housing starts are. As Michael well knows, and as he shares with everyone, we're at nearly all-time lows in the number of residential permits being issued. So speaking of housing, let's look at that just for a minute and take a look at, where the current housing market is. Right now for the month of August, which is the last number there, we're looking at a median sales price of about $265,000 or about $139 per square foot. And that graph shows how we compare to the previous 5 years. Now, we do have an abundance of houses on the market right now. This is a graph that shows the 4-week average, the running average over 4 weeks. And for the most recent 4-week period, we have 143 active listings right now on the market, which is about a 49% difference from last year. So if you take a look at those active listings and where they're priced at right now, I guess just focus on the graph on the bottom. It shows that it's right now the active listings are being offered at about $159 per square foot, which if you look at where they were versus the previous periods, that's not that bad. However, they are taking much longer to sell. Right now, that top graph there shows you that Those houses that have been sold over the previous 4 weeks have been on the market for about 74 or 75 days, which is about 2.5 months. And right now, of those houses that are still being listed, of the active listings, they've been on the market for an average of about 82 days. So, real quickly, that's what I have for you tonight. I want to thank you for all of the support that you've given us, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Fauché. Is there any council discussion? Ms. Fonseca.
Thank you, Corey. I just wanted to thank you for all that you do. It's really, like you said, an exciting time in our parish with the expected growth, and glad to have you involved in that.
Thank you. And the one thing that I didn't mention is that those are the projects that are committed, that have been announced, and that will happen over the next 3 years. We have a good $5 or $6 billion worth of projects that are in the pipeline right now that we are in the last phases, or they are in their last phases of doing their site selection. So,
great. Thank you.
Ms. Cluley.
Mary.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Of the active projects you had listed, one is BKV. What is that?
BKV is carbon capture and storage
And the
project.
Louisiana, is it PIS? Is that the same thing?
Louisiana BI. Oh, no, Lapis.
Lapis?
Lapis Energy, I'm sorry. Lapis Energy, yes, that is another carbon capture and storage
Carbon capture? Okay.
project.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Fisher-Cormier.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So piecing all of this together, out of those announced projects, do any of those speak to the pockets of the unemployment sectors that we have? Do we think that
Yes.
those skill sets are going to translate?
Some will, to be quite honest with you. Some won't, but it is our job to make sure that those that don't, and if they are drug-free, that they go out and they go in and get the training that's needed to fill those jobs. I mean, we just can't afford to lose an able body that is drug-free if we want to attract all of these projects. Because if not, then we just have the license plates from all those states that we always fuss about, right? So.
Okay. Hope to see that.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank the port for being so involved too.
Thank you, Corey.
Thank you.
Item number 2023-0271. Parish President remarks and report. President Jewell.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Want to talk really quick and open it up with road maintenance. As you've seen all across the parish, we have been doing road maintenance of doing mill and overlay with Barrier Construction. Just to give you an idea of what's going on this week, today, Monday, October 9th, Clayton Street in Norco. Tuesday, October 10th, St. Francis Street in Destrehan, St. Paul Street in Destrehan, Ruth Street in Destrehan, 3rd Street in Luling, as well as 5th Street in Luling, as well as Ellington Avenue in Luling will be repaved. On Wednesday, we'll have Rose Street in Hawnville, as well as General Taylor Drive in Hawnville. Thursday, we'll have Goog Street, Pecan Street, and Smith Street, all in Hawnville. And then Friday, we'll do Pony Lane in St. Rose, that's in Bar None, as well as Opal Lane in St. Rose as well. So a lot of great work going on. As you know, we already had a first round of streets that went out. We're happy to see these streets being repaired. Our goal is to get all of our streets that are either poor or very poor off of our list. I think we mentioned at the last council meeting, there were a couple that we had to hold off on this year because of ongoing projects. Again, I want to reiterate that those projects will be the first ones on the list next year to make sure we get done. And hopefully, when we do our inspections of our road, that we can get the either classification of good or very good on all of our streets. And as you know, we mentioned the last council meeting that we're also going to be giving some more emphasis to our concrete panel replacement program. So Think of streets like Celia Court. So there's a lot of streets in St. Rose that have concrete panels as well as Old Luling. And our goal is to make sure we take care of those failing concrete panels. All right, over to River Park Drive. We have been doing some work in this area, and Public Works is cleaning and upgrading sections of culvert behind the rear yards of River Park Drive. As you know, River Park has only a 5-foot servitude in the backyards of many of the houses in fact, on both sides. So we've had to work with our residents to get right of access, and our Public Works folks are taking great care to get in and out very quickly and put it back as neatly as possible so that we can make this drainage improvement for that street. Waterworks Ida repairs. So you see the West Bank Waterworks building. This one should be done by the end of this month, and we'll have some furniture coming in as well to get our folks back in that building office that was damaged after Hurricane Ida. There's also some work going on at the West Bank building, like the plant building, roof repairs and other works that are being done as well in conjunction. They were all bid together. We did open bids for the East Bank water treatment plant repairs. That is that's a $2.3 million engineer's probable cost. And we're looking to get those repaired. I want to remind the council and everyone at home who's watching that we are still working on getting insurance money and FEMA money back in from St. Charles Parish. I think probably at the next council meeting we'll have some good information to update you with, good news to update you with in regards to the East Bank water intake and what we've been doing with trying to secure funding back to the parish for that. But as we do these projects, just know that we're taking these out of reserves, we're taking these out of projects that were previously slated to go so that we can get our buildings back on track. And of course, we're taking the opportunity to make sure that the buildings are repaired in a way that will be a little bit more fortified than we had previously, so that if we get into this situation that we're not making so many repairs in the futures. Just wanted to give you that update. But again, I mentioned the East Bank water intake. It's nearly complete as far as the design process goes. It took a little while as far as the permitting went for that project. Obviously, the Corps was involved because we were out in the river. They required a slope analysis of the levee and the pipes, and that's in the process of being put out to bid. So we're hoping to get that under construction before the end of the year and get that water intake back to full 100% capability. I will say too, just as I mentioned, that there was good news on the saltwater intrusion, the saltwater wedge that we've heard so much about. The Corps revised their modeling, and it doesn't look like at this point that St. Charles will see any effects. It doesn't even look like that Jefferson will see any dangerous effects. In other words, chloride above 250 parts per million during this event. Obviously, we know that the model is the model. I know all of the water plants, including our own, up and down the river, are testing for chloride as well as our usual tests that we do every day. But at this point in time, there's no reason for us to react to anything, and we continue to work with the Corps every single day to make sure if there is something that changes in those modelings and St. Charles Parish is going to be included, that we will have plenty enough time to start responding to that. Just know that it isn't going to be like a hurricane or a tornado. It's not just going to hit us. We'll have at least a month of notice to be able to prepare for it, and we're watching very closely what other parishes are doing so that we can make sure that we learn from their mistakes or the things that work for them. All right, going over quickly to Wetland Watchers Park. They had a brief closure last week due to high wind pushing water in and flooding our entrance. As you know, we've made repairs and improvements to that entrance, but unfortunately the pump that was out there just couldn't keep up with the amount of water coming back in. but we are back open, and we're excited for that. The West Bank Spray Park and the Bridge Park renovations are coming along well. Both projects are on schedule. You can see on the right-hand side, they actually did some soil stabilization with some soil cement. And as I passed today, I saw them digging a lot of the drainage for the interior ball fields where the actual turf is going to go. And then on the left, that's the splash park. You can see they started pouring they poured a couple of panels that are curing for the parking lot. And again, we're excited to see all of those open up next year. Next is Fall Fest. SCP Parks and Rec, as well as SRVP and the Council on Aging, are going to host our annual Fall Fest for the seniors and adults 55 and older on Tuesday, October 31st. That's right, Tuesday, October 31st. And those who are coming are encouraged to call the Council on Aging to RSVP and wear their best Halloween costume. The event will start at 11 a.m. and it'll be at the Edward A. Dufferin Community Center. Again, that's going to be our Fall Fest at 11 a.m. Tuesday, October 31st. We had a very successful Battle for the Paddle last week. To give you some perspective, there was around 180 teams last year. This year, there was 222 teams. I'm not sure they can fit many more teams than they had this year, but it was very successful, and I want to give a big thank you to the folks who made it a success. But first, I want to talk to you to tell you about the winners. The judges' winners in jambalaya was Bottoms Up Industrial Response and Service. In gumbo, it was Entergy River Lake. In pastelaya, it was Stronghold. And then People's Choice winners were Bayer CT 2/3. Gumbo was Bayer Tex 225 Gumbo. Pastelaya was Dow Brand Safeway Pasta Slingers. So those are Pasta Slingers, that's right. Okay, Battle for the Paddle, we thank you, and we want to thank all of the folks at the United Way, as well as Public Works and Park and Rec, and EOC, who all contribute to make that event a huge success. Coming up, we have Paint the Parish Pink, Paint SCP Pink Day. Thursday, October 12th is Paint St. Charles Parish Pink Day, so wear your pink SCP shirts or other pink gear to show your support for our breast cancer warriors in St. Charles Parish. And Chairwoman, that concludes my report.
Thank you, President Jewell. Ms. Belloc.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Matt, I'm concerned, I have a concern it's not on here, what your report is. Signs. Political signs. Political signs were picked up off servitudes in St. Rose. I was concerned about my signs, so I called them. I called the code enforcement and wondered why they were just picking up my signs off servitudes. So the response I got from Ken on the 22nd of September, I emailed Michelle and asked her what was going on with picking up the sign. So when I talked to Ken said that he was under, it came from Parish administration to pick up all signs on servitudes in St. Rose and New Sarpy. And I said, okay, so if you're picking up all of them, I'm like a day late. I'm sitting here in Destrehan, and I see a bunch of political signs on servitudes in Destrehan. Also on Highway 90. When I say political signs, I'm talking about Armand Boulevard servitudes, Stanton Hall servitudes, Highway 90 servitudes, 310 servitudes. Political signs are all on there. So when Ken told me it came straight from administration, I said, well, if it came straight from administration, throughout the whole parish, signs should have been picked up, right? So I said, okay, well, this is what was done. Marilyn Belloc signs were picked up. Ryan Price signs were picked up. Lori Brown signs were picked up. Anthony Straughter's signs were picked up. And Dwayne LaGrange signs were picked up. These are the signs that were not picked up. Dick Gibbs sign, Webb J., Walter Pele, Nikki Dufresne, Michelle O'Daniels, Lance Marino, Greg Miller. Those signs were not picked up, Matt. When I tell you, I thought that was so unfair that it would come, you guys would come, your administration would come to St. Rose and pick up my signs of servitudes, and I'm sitting in Destrehan looking at them on servitudes. Got pictures of them still today on servitudes. So I just wanted to know, why was mine picked up?
Sure, I'm happy to answer that question. First, the parish administration didn't give a blanket authority to go pick up signs in St. Rose and New Sarpy. We received a lot of complaints to Michael Albert's office about signs all over the place. Your accusation that we only picked up certain signs is completely false.
No, those are signs I saw.
Wait. You know, I'm going to tell you, I had several conversations with candidates. I called a sitting council member who's running for a separate office and let him know that his signs were there. I talked to a person who's running in St. Rose whose signs were in there. I picked up my own signs in that pile behind planning and zoning. So nobody was targeted. I think that if we were targeting people, do you think that my employees would have picked up my signs?
No, they would not have.
Correct, but they did. They picked up literally everybody's signs. Walter Pelier's signs were picked up. There was a whole stack of signs behind there. I saw Daniel Dugas signs. I saw, I think, a sign for almost every single person running, including the people who are running in St. John Parish, who are running for state reps race. So, you know, this is always a big controversy about these signs because it is against our code to put signs in the right-of-way. Now, if it's in your yard and technically the servitude, I think they try to give a little bit of leeway unless it's in the ditch. But if it's in the right-of-way of DOTD or some other blatant, you know, area of the parish that's clearly in a right-of-way, or if we receive Greg Miller sign got picked up in New Sarpy because it was too close to the street, supposedly. You know, these political signs are becoming just a real big issue, and maybe we ought to take a look at the ordinances surrounding them about when they can be put out and really clarify, you know, where they can be placed. But nobody went out and targeted anybody, and anybody who went
that way, Matt.
It's fine. You can think whatever you want to think, but anybody who went back there and got their signs and picked their signs up saw one for pretty much every single candidate. That's all I have to say about it.
Matt, I have still signs on servitudes today.
You want us to go round them all up? We'll go round them up.
You rounded up mine?
They rounded up mine too, Marilyn. And quite frankly, I think this entire conversation right now in an official setting talking about campaign stuff is inappropriate. That's my personal opinion about it. If you want to have a conversation about it outside of an official council meeting where we're conducting official council and administration business, we can do that. But this is not a time to talk about campaign activity. Thanks.
Okay. Next up, we have planning and zoning. No, we do not. Ordinances, resolutions, introductions for publication and public hearing. Monday, October 23rd, 2023, 6 p.m., Council Chambers Courthouse, Hahnville. Item number 2023-0275, 2023-0276. Ordinances introduced for publication and public hearing. The St. Charles Parish Operating and Capital Budget hearing are to be Tuesday, October 31st, 2023, 9 a.m. Thursday, November 2nd, 2023 at 1 p.m. Monday, November 6th, 2023, 6 p.m. Council Chambers Courthouse, Hahnville. Item number 2023-0121, an ordinance to approve and adopt the appropriation of funds for the St. Charles Parish Consolidated Operating and Capital Budget for fiscal year 2024. This was just an announcement. Planning and zoning petitions, 2023-0262. an ordinance to amend the St. Charles Parish zoning ordinance of 1981 to change the zoning classification from C3 to R-1A on approximately 16.5 acres portion of Tract 11, Ashton Plantation, as requested by Louis M. Adalasic, that's what she said, okay, Jr., for Ashton Plantation Estates, LLC. Mr. Albert.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The request is to go from C3 highway commercial to R1A zoning on a 16-acre piece that's approximately 400 feet off of River Road. The request meets all three rezoning criteria. The staff as well as the Planning Commission recommended approval. R1A zoning is consistent with the rest of the development.
Okay. File number 2023-0262 is now open for public hearing. If there's anyone who'd like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You will have 3 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Troy Bellinger, J.B. LeVere Land Company, representing Ashton Plantation. As was presented, the request for rezoning change would be appreciated. As he mentioned, it meets all three requirements. Most specifically, it complies with the future land use map as established by the St. Charles Parish Comprehensive Plan. Also, it does meet the character of the adjacent properties next to the existing residential developments within Ashton. The intent, although the item is just for rezoning, the intent is for more residential development. I think you guys may have a plat attached in your agenda package. That plat has changed somewhat, and we are currently working with Planning Department just to make sure we comply with all of the design standards and the parish ordinances, and we hope to eventually come back to you guys for approval on the re-subdivision plat.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to come up and speak? Seeing none. No. Oh, we have one. All right. Please state your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes.
Hi, good evening. My name is Rianda Pierre, and my address is 405 Lac Verret Drive, Louisville, Louisiana, 70070. As a resident of Ashton subdivision, I do have some concerns with regards to the rezoning of the property, and some questions, and maybe can be answered by the developer or planning and zoning with regards to access to the Ashton subdivision. Currently, there is one entrance, which is Ashton Boulevard to cross the tracks, and the second exit is off of Hackberry, and there's a gate. If the train stops on that track and adding more residential homes to that subdivision will cause more traffic for us. Ashton Manor is also behind that train track, and I would love to know what the future plans of access or exit would be in an emergency situation for the current residents. Also, the master plan as presented years ago, I'm going off of memory and it's been a while, called for several amenities, whether it be clubhouses or fishing piers, a school. This property was initially zoned for commercial, whereas when the residents purchased into that subdivision, they had an idea that there would be stores or different things that they could utilize instead of having to go elsewhere. It would be a completely master plan community. My concern is, although I'm in full support of adding residences to the parish and growth, because I know we need more affordable homes, my concern is that this change in zoning doesn't necessarily benefit the residents that currently reside there. And on the night of the zoning meeting with the Planning Commission, it stormed. It stormed that night, and we weren't sure whether or not that meeting was even going to be held. And it was. So I would ask that you guys consider the residents in that neighborhood and also the future plans. And if this is approved, then what other changes will they make to that master plan community without offering any amenities for the residents that are currently paying HOA dues? I yield the rest of my time. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Cormier?
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nope.
Is there any
Oh.
additional public hearing, public comment?
Can I get up and speak again? Yes.
Yes.
One more time. Yes, ma'am. Troy Bellinger, representing Ashton. Definitely appreciate your concerns and respectfully agree with some of the things you may say. But as far as the commercial, there's still a good bit of commercial right at the front entrance. Have you noticed there is a drive that's underway to support a future commercial use? Also, as far as traffic, you know, in the process of doing our development for the subdivision, we've had to complete a traffic study. And the findings of the traffic study is that commercial does bring much more traffic than the residential use. You know, so the plan is to keep the appeal of it, and also too the use that's allowed, uses allowed by a C3 district. If you guys are, I'm sure, familiar with the uses that are allowed, things that can go there would be very unattractive or obnoxious, whereas the residential change would support and be in character of what's existing. And like I said, there is commercial uses. As far as some of the other things that may happen on future access, I can't really expound. That's not for us. Same things with schools, or that's not our position. But as far as the HOA, that's something maybe the HOA may want to talk about. Hey, do y'all, not say y'all, but does the HOA want to address and bring some possible things in there? So we do have best intention for the entire development, and as per the master change, it has changed. At one time, that area was zoned as multifamily, where apartments or anything, which would actually bring more traffic as well, and also some other commercial uses. But we do have a vested interest in the remaining property developed that will support the existing residents and also attract new residents coming into this area. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that had come up for public discussion? Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Ms. Cormier, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, first I'll say Mr. Bellinger answered some of my questions and actually said some of the same things that I had planned to say, but I'll reiterate some of them. So until today, until Ms. Pierre came up and spoke, I hadn't heard from anyone directly, either in opposition or support for this. I did watch the planning and zoning meeting in which there was one resident that did speak out. So the resident really had similar concerns, traffic and maybe some infrastructure concerns. And realistically, just as Mr. Bellinger said, C3 would cause a lot more stress on infrastructure than R1A would, as well as traffic. So it really wouldn't be terribly invasive to change it wouldn't be invasive at all if we changed the zoning. Especially if the C3, depending on what the use chosen out of that C3 was, it could be actually detrimental. So there are some additional steps as mentioned. So once the rezone is done, I'm sure that, I don't know if it'll be while I'm still here, but I think we'll hear from the developers again in another layer of protection for the residents. But those amenities mentioned, I do recall when Ashton was built, some of them are there. You know, there is a clubhouse, there is some fishing. There are some things that I think maybe were lost in translation through the years. This school, I don't know that the school system was ever actually a part of that conversation, so it's hard to hold anybody accountable if that wasn't part of the process. And hopefully, you know, as he mentioned, some of these other plots of land within the development will offer some of those amenities and some more quality of life to the residents in there. You know, the parish only has certain jurisdiction. We do require, you know, we actually kind of changed the rules recently, but they did fulfill their requirement of the recreation piece and a piece dedicated to the school as well. So we do have some amenities there that the parish has something to do with. But other than that, covenants and HOAs are really outside the jurisdiction of the council here. So I think this is a good thing. I know that we just heard from Mr. Fauché about our housing market, and we do have a bit of an influx of housing at the moment. However, I feel, you know, you looked at the age of some of them, and some of them were 80-plus years old in that pocket of houses. So I think we need some newer homes on the market, and hopefully they can market these well and also hold up to some of the things that the residents were hoping for years now. So I do support this.
Thank you, Ms. Cormier. Is there any additional discussion? Mr. Fisher?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Belger, could you come up for 1 second? I got a couple of questions I'd like to ask.
Yes, sir.
So looking through your application for the zoning, so y'all have a plan to do 43 lots?
At this time,
At
yes,
this
sir.
time, this
Yes.
time. So that's going about 16,000 square foot a lot. So it'll be along the lines of the Ashton layout, right, between that lot sizes?
Correct, yeah. These lots are a little small on the frontage, just because we feel that's the economics of it, just being able to put a smaller home, although they will be restricted, as other Ashton developments are, to be attractive and meet certain design criteria as far as the buildings as well.
For design criteria and sizes, you'll be in that same
Yes.
range of the Ashton neighborhood, so the same aspects. It won't be small, much scaled down houses, correct?
Right. It's just the minimum square footage on the resident may be a little smaller, and the lots themselves would just be a little smaller, geared toward just a less yard to maintain and what have you.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, that's the name of the patio home. We actually have a lot of residences that are looking, where it be retirees or just empty nesters, looking to want to stay there, but they like to downsize into something a little smaller that don't require the maintenance that they currently have.
Okay. Thank you, Troy. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Is there any additional council discussion? All right. Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2023-0262. And that passes unanimously. Item number 2023-0263. An ordinance to amend the St. Charles Parish zoning ordinance of 1981 to change the zoning classification from R1A to R1AM on Lot 1B1, Square 6, Lindaloo Park, Unit 2, 519 Willow Street, Boutique, as requested by Roger Landry. Mr. Albert.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As stated, the request is to go from R1A to R1AM. The only real distinction between those is the overall smaller lot size for R1AM and the permissive use of mobile homes as the general housing type for the district. The department recommended denial. The Planning Commission recommended approval. Thank you.
Okay. File number 2023-0263 is now open for public hearing. If there's anyone who'd like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You will have 3 minutes to speak.
Roger Landry, 314 Beaupre, Luling. Just want to bring up a few items. The recommend to approve from the Planning and Zoning Committee was unanimous. One of the things that we did was we went and we talked to 100% of all of the abutting property owners and have signed letters and emails from every single one of them saying they have no issues or concerns with us putting a mobile home there. And I don't know, are we able to bring this up or no? Are we able to bring this map up?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you can see the dark yellow area is already zoned for R1AM. It's only a block off of the lot, which our lot is in red. And you can see is actually a small part that the corner of the R1M, AM touches our side of it. The only other thing I'd like to bring up is the light yellow shows the part that is R1A. And putting a mobile home there, we don't feel will change the character of the neighborhood. In fact, during the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, I showed them over 30 different pictures of mobile homes in that light yellow area. The only reason and there was a mobile home there previously, but when the mobile home was removed, it was not replaced within 6 months, so it lost its grandfathering. And other than that, I just want to make myself available for any questions.
All right. Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else who'd like to come up and speak? Seeing none, any council discussion? Mr. Dufresne.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is in my district, and I haven't heard anyone say otherwise. So, and I know I watched the planning and zoning, and it was unanimous, and no one spoke out against it then also. And they did their due diligence. I mean, they got all the neighbors to sign and agree on it, so I see no reason why we shouldn't support this.
Thank you, Mr. Dufresne. I neglected to say public comment is now closed. Is there any additional council discussion? All right, seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2023-0263. And that passes unanimously. Ordinance is scheduled for public hearing introduced at a previous meeting. Item number 2023-0261, an ordinance to amend the St. Charles Parish Code of Ordinances, Appendix 6, St. Charles Parish Subdivision Regulations of 1981, Section 4F, miscellaneous regarding street light fixtures by changing and requiring the light fixtures from a high-pressure sodium to LED and updating the required cash deposit. Mr. Albert.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This ordinance appears to be updated every 10 or 15 years. As the standards change, we had several requests to update this to LED standards. I was in contact with the contract monitor and parish engineer to get the exact verbiage for what should go into the code. This was approved by those people in Public Works. We took it through Planning Commission with recommendations for approval, both from the department and the commission.
Thank you. File number 2023-0261 is now open for public hearing. If there's anyone who'd like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Is there any council discussion? Ms. Fonseca.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Michael, I'd like to thank you and your staff and Public Works, Miles, as well as his staff for doing this. I was actually one of the requesters, so I appreciate this being updated. Thank you.
Is there any additional discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2023-0261. And that passes unanimously. Item number 2023-0264, an ordinance to provide for the installation of an all-way stop sign at the intersection of Stanton Hall, Panther Run, and Nottoway Drive in Ormond Country Club Estates subdivision in Destrehan. And that's something that I'm bringing forward. So in February of 2023, it was brought to my attention and planning and zoning by complaints that a fence that was built after Ida was built higher than what planning and zoning regulations require or allow. And that blocked the line of sight where Stanton Hall comes together at Panther Run, where it turns into Nottoway. And I put some maps on at your seats if you'd like to see that. And what happens at that section is the street doglegs around a curve going onto Nottoway, and the fence blocks that. So the homeowner applied for and was granted a variance by the Zoning Board of Adjustments, and his 6-foot-tall fence remains. But although the variance was granted, there's still danger to vehicular traffic and pedestrians right now. So this ordinance is in response to that, and is needed to address the specifications of Section 5C. No fence shall be erected as to block vehicular sight lines as defined by the AASHTO. So on August 31st, we sent out a questionnaire regarding the need for the all-way stop. We sent it to 337 residents in the surrounding area and received a total of 72 responses. They're both in completed form and in phone calls. There were 43 in favor of this stop and 29 in opposition. So thank you to everybody who took the time to return this ordinance. Your participation is important. And I would request that the council vote in favor of this ordinance. So file number 2023-0264 is now open for public hearing. If there's anyone who'd like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Is there any council discussion? Mr. Gibbs.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to make a motion to amend and add my name as a co-sponsor, please. I'm all in favor of this as well, and it's in my district.
All right, we have a motion to add Mr. Gibbs as a co-sponsor to this. I need a motion, I need a mover and a second. Oh, you made the motion. I need a second. It's moving around. A motion by Mr. Gibbs and a second by Councilman Fisher. Please cast your votes. And the motion passes unanimously to add Mr. Gibbs as a co-sponsor.
That was on the amendment.
Yeah.
So now you're going to take up the item as amended.
Now we'll take up the item as amended. Okay. Is there any council discussion other than Mr. Gibbs? All right, thank you. Please cast your votes for file number 2023-0264 as amended. That passes unanimously. Item number 2023-0265, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of professional services agreement with Alpha Testing and Inspection Incorporated to perform testing services for the Des Alleman Bulkhead Project, project number P210601, in the not-to-exceed amount of $57,000. Mr. Bingham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is just testing lab services for the upcoming Des Alleman Bulkhead Project, which will bid in a week from Tuesday, and we would appreciate your support.
Thank you. File number 2023-0265 is now open for public hearing. If there's anyone who'd like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Is there any council discussion? Mr. Fisher.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Miles, I guess we're going to have to do this for most of our sheet pile and driving. It's going to be kind of a standard.
Yes, sir. There will be one coming for engineers. Engineers Canal will come.
Penrose,
Yes.
all of that because of the houses.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. I'm glad we're getting ahead of the game on this one. Thank you.
Mr. Dufresne.
Miles, are they videoing prior, like homes, exterior homes for settling cracks before we start
That will be
vibrating?
something that the contractor does, not the testing
Not
lab.
the testing, so the contractor, is that part of our, not so much here on the bulkhead, but Engineers Canal?
Yeah, Engineers Canal would be good. Primrose would also be good. That is left to the contractor to protect themselves, because they're the ones that have the liability.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Is there any additional council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2023-0265. And that passes unanimously. Okay, now we have persons to address the council. Item number 2023-0273, Mr. Jeff Grayson. Council and Planning Zoning Ordinance Error needs review. Mr. Grayson, you'll have 5 minutes to speak.
My name is Jeff Grayson, 205 Lorraine Street, Destrehan, and I'd like to address the council about the Bungie expansion project. There may have been some oversights in the planning and zoning and the council's passing of this. When you get your picture there, if you look at it, this is actually Bungie's rendering of their expansion. You can physically see conveyors running from the grain elevator to the new facility. They're expanding the grain elevator. It's an M3 All the M3s in our parish are in nonconformity for lack of 1 mile buffer. I mean, it's crystal clear in their rendering. This is an expansion. If we flip to the next page, this is St. Charles Parish Code and Ordinances, Appendix A, Section 9, C, 2 and 3. C, a nonconforming use shall not extend or enlarge either in intensity of the activity or by physical extension except when required to do so by law. No structural enlargement may be made to a building that is nonconforming as to use unless said building is changed to a conforming use. I'm asking the council to possibly bring this back and review it. And if you look at the next picture, this is the actual plan they submitted to planning and zoning, which again clearly shows extension of the grain elevator actually coming outside of the M3 zoning and hooking to the new proposed facility, which has not been started yet. They haven't even broken ground yet. But I live within 1,000 feet of this grain elevator, and they've already started expanding the grain elevator. I look at it every day. Actually, the facility they're planning on building is a milling operation, and M3 zoning is strictly for grain elevators and associated milling operations. This particular type of milling operation, where they do the soybean crush, this milling operation produces meal or animal feedstock, which they make animal food out of. This particular type of milling operation belongs on M3. So basically what planning and zoning and by error, or however it was done, by error and error of the council, what we're going to end up with here is a physical expansion of an M3 outside the M3. It's going to be almost double their footprint. It's clear to see in their pictures. It's physically connected. If you physically connect two things together, they become one. So this is going to turn, by physical connection, you're going to turn the grain elevator and their whole new proposed project into one extremely large M3 operation without a 1 mile buffer zone. And all I ask you to do is put this back under review, bring this back, bring Bungie back in here, have them explain it. Mr. Albert, he's seen all their pictures and plans. I've seen them. Y'all seen them. Every one of them shows the same thing, physical expansion, extension. And they're coming outside the M3. I guess that's it. I just ask y'all bring that back under review.
Thank you, Mr. Grayson. Item number 2023-0274, Ms. Rianda Pierre, additional use of existing space, permit to incorporate sale of food and beverages. Hello again.
Hi, good evening again.
You'll have 5 minutes to speak.
Thank you. I'm not sure if you all have a copy of the attachments that I submitted as well in my request to address the council. These photos are in addition to it. Again, I'm Rianda Pierre, been a resident of St. Charles Parish for a long time. I've worked with many of you, gone to school with you, worked beside you, cheered on the sidelines, coached some of your children in basketball, and it has always been my heart's desire to provide places in this parish where we can come together and enjoy a better quality of life. And that's no different than what I'm proposing. If you guys are familiar with the West Bank on Highway 90 and traveled up and down it, the building in question is the old Whitney Bank. For a long time, this building has sat vacant. It was overgrown with shrubbery. And since 2020, when the pandemic hit, I acquired this space and invested my savings into renovating it. Our grand opening was going to be 2021. I received a permit from Planning and Zoning for Louisiana Business Center. I wanted to have a place where small businesses can come, have co-networking space. We can provide training for them, help them to navigate the process of planning and zoning, applying for permits, CPAs, lawyers there to assist. And we hosted baby showers, small gatherings, birthday parties without incident. It was a wonderful venue. And as you know, as many buildings, Hurricane Ida changed that for a lot of us. And we were forced to rebuild. In rebuilding, we also started to consider what other things we could use in this space and the needs and the wants of the residents. And so St. Charles Talk, of course, was there. And a lot of the residents talked about places to eat. After Hurricane Ida, there was food trucks lined up along Highway 90. You didn't know who they were, where they came from, if they received inspections, but we were without utilities and we needed something to eat. So we looked at this space and decided to provide an outlet for food trucks. And I got an investor, and he opened up a food truck there. And in the evenings, we served food, and the community came. I'm usually straight and narrow. I'm just being perfectly honest with you. And in the evenings, it was an opportunity to let down my hair and just enjoy adult conversation. I applied for a restaurant permit with ATC because I realized that when we were holding these events and these parties, that there was no monitoring, there was no way we can control what happened. However, if we received our permit, then we could monitor the consumption of beverages and open up a restaurant where we can be a service to our community. Because we're within 500 feet of the public library, I will have to come before you, it's not before you today, with planning and zoning and request a waiver. The restaurant will be, it's greater than 300 feet away, but within the 500 feet of approval. So I wanted to provide you with some images to show you that my commitment to providing a fun, safe environment for our parish is the same. It was never intended to be a bar or a nightclub. I have 4 small children, and they have been with me from the very beginning, picking out floors, building, and we also have hosted meetings with the Urban League for their community navigators roundtables. We have had youth council meetings there. We've had birthday parties for children there. And I intend for this to be another establishment, another restaurant in the parish, another food spot, and most importantly, a food truck village where we can offer small businesses an opportunity for us to come and hang out. And I just wanted to give you some inside looks to what's to come, if you guys would consider that waiver in the future.
Thank you, Rihanna.
Thank you so much.
Ms. Cormier.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Rihanna. I'm glad to have you before us. This is in my district.
Yes.
And this is a point of conversation often. Residents are quite curious and have been curious for some time, and there's been some chatter. And to be honest, I really didn't know, what the plan was, and it's part of the process, So now here in front of us, I guess, I have a couple questions just to think about. You don't even have to answer all these today. So you applied for your restaurant permit, which is great news. I'm glad to hear that. Do you have a timeline on that? No.
Yes. We've applied multiple times for it. The way that it works when we apply for the permit, it just really depends on which one you're talking about. You have to have the permit from Planning and Zoning that allow you to open up a restaurant. So after Ida, we applied for a snowball permit, which is what we had before. But with ATC, you have to have a restaurant and serve more than 50% food over alcohol. We applied there, but it requires fire marshal, Department of Health, and also application with the sheriff's department. Everything has to be done within a 45-day period, and you also have to make post it in the Herald Guide that you'll be opening up a location. I've done that 3 times. We get to the same point where we have to get past planning and zoning and the requirement with the C2 zoning with the restaurant and the location to the library in order to even apply to the sheriff for an application to serve alcohol.
Right.
So
okay. But you haven't ever applied for a full-scale restaurant before?
No.
So it's not like you applied for that 3 times. You applied for different
Correct.
levels.
I applied for a snowball stand for the restaurant, and then when we did that, we applied to ATC.
Okay. So it sounds like you kind of took a weaving journey to
I
this
had to.
point. And yeah.
Yes.
So what you were going to do with it has changed. And okay, that's life right now. I understand. All right. So we'll be looking for the basically the waiver.
Yes.
For the setback or the distance requirement.
Yes, ma'am.
For a full-scale restaurant.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you will it be multi-use? Because you've
yes.
These photos show us a business center, but it'll also be a restaurant.
Yes, ma'am. So it's like business by day and restaurant by night. But with the trainings and what we were doing with our trainings during the daytime, we were catering them. So we were ordering food from other locations and other venues in order to provide it for our guests. And so this would be an opportunity for us to serve our guests food from our own venue.
Is the food truck where the food's coming from? So it's all the
Both.
food will come from food
No.
trucks? No.
No. We'll have a restaurant, but only serve certain items. So no 2 food trucks will serve the same thing, and no food truck will serve what we have on the inside.
We do have a permit process for food trucks now, by the way.
I know.
We didn't. But we do now.
And that has also been changed since we started.
Mm-hmm. We've all learned a little something in the last few years, no doubt, so.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're here before. It's very transparent of you, and, I hope that we can help all find the right solution for you and for the community as well.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Rihanna. Okay, meetings, announcements, notices, etc. Meetings. Civil Service Board, Tuesday, October 10th, 2023, 6:30 p.m., Council Chambers. Community Action Advisory Board, Wednesday, October 11th, 2023, 5 p.m., Council Chambers. Planning and Zoning Commission, Thursday, October 12th, 2023, 6 p.m., Council Chambers. Pontchartrain Levy District, Monday, October 16th, 2023, 6 p.m., Pontchartrain Levy District Headquarters Complex, 2069 Railroad Avenue, Letcher. Board of Adjustment, ZBA, Thursday, October 19th, 2023, 6 p.m., Council Chambers. St. Charles Parish Council, Monday, October 23rd, 2023, 6 p.m., Council Chambers. Announcements. Important dates for the October 14th, 2023 election. Thursday, October 10th, 2023 is the last day to request absentee by mail ballots. Friday, October 13th, 2023 is the last day to receive voted absentee ballots. Saturday, October 14th, 2023 is Election Day from 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. Important dates for the November 18th, 2023 election. Wednesday, November 18th, 2023 is the last day to register to vote in person or by mail. October 18th. Saturday, let's say that again. Wednesday, October 18th, 2023, last day to register to vote in person or by mail. Saturday, October 28th, 2023, last day to register to vote online at govote.com. Tuesday, November 14th, 2023, last day to register absentee by mail ballots. Early voting, Friday, November 3rd, and Saturday, November 4th, 2023, and Monday, November 6th through Thursday, November 9th, 2023. Closed on Friday, November 10th, 2023, Saturday, and November 11th, 2023, from 8:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. West Bank Courthouse, and 15045 River Road, Hawnville, East Bank, Arterbury Building, 14564 River Road, New Sarpy. Friday, November 17th, 2023 is the last day to receive voted absentee ballots. Saturday, November 18th, 2023 is Election Day, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Remember, the public hearings to consider the proposed 2024 capital and consolidated operating budget is Tuesday, October 31st at 2023 at 9 a.m., Thursday, November 2nd, 2023 at 1 p.m., Monday, November 6th, 2023 at 6 p.m. Adjournment. A motion and a second is needed to adjourn. I have a motion by Ms. Fonseca and a second by Ms. Fisher. Please cast your votes to adjourn. And that passes unanimously. Have a great evening. We are officially